Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Tim Black. 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 Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black at Night show. I'm glad to have you here. It's a privilege to have you tune into my show every day at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We bring it to you raw and live, and it's something of it's a job of passion, a work of passion here on this show. And the people that tune in are very important people. Shout out to my people on YouTube, Tim Black's Wolfpack. You know who you are, Tim Black's Wolfpack. To become a member of Tim Black's Wolfpack, all you got to do is go to my Speak On It group. It's on Facebook, and we share ideas. We come up with topics for shows, and I'm going to be referring back to that a lot tonight because it falls right in the groove of what we're going to be talking about when we talk about the Paris updates. We talk about the conspiracies, and when we talk about some of the controversies surrounding the Paris story. Or stories, because it's turning into a lot of stories. So first thing I like to do, folks, Meerkat people, thank you very much for tuning in. It's my Meerkat audience is growing and showing, improving, and I did a lot of streaming today on Meerkat because Meerkat is not regulated like YouTube is, and it allowed me to bring people some information about the Paris, the tragedy, the brutal deaths in Paris, France. And I was able to do that without reprisal from mainstream media. So I did that for about 5.5 hours of streaming constantly on that platform. And now I'm back here. I took an 1.5 hour break, decompress, come back, jump on Blog Talk Radio, log in, prep for my show. And here we are again, doing it again. So give it up for me, give it up for yourselves, and give it up for... Turn up that volume a little bit. Because we need to make sure they can hear us on Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. You can get these in podcast format as well. Some people like to listen to me as they drive. I got some truckers who listen to my stuff on the job, man. They be driving from city to city. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, from the bottom to the top to the bottom. I'm going to rock them while I still got them. All right. They be doing that Houdini. They listen to my show, and they contact me. And they say, Tim, thank you, bro. Thank you for providing this content this way. And I just want to give it to you whatever way it works for you. You know, video, podcast, short pieces. I do it all on TimBlack.com. Last thing I want to mention to you guys is that I need clips from you. I need my people who support this show. I need you to send me a 3 to 5 second clip, short clip, 5 seconds. You know what? Let's make it 6 seconds, like a Vine clip. It's short. Just make it short clip. Just saying, hey, you know, I am TimBlack.com or something in support of the show, about the show. And what I'm going to do is make a collage, and that'll be like an intro to the show. You'll be the intro to the show. I tell people all the time, man, what I'm doing here isn't just about me. It's about we. So we make the show. So when you go to Facebook and you tell me what you want the topics to be, I consider that. I look at what we got going on. I say, you know what? Tonight is this. Tuesday is this. And we vote on things. We come up with it together. You help me come up with ideas, topic suggestions. We don't have to just do some sensational stories. We can do You want to talk about anything, man. Disciplining your kids, how to quit smoking, how to get in shape, whatever, man. We do a show every night. So we're not constrained where we only got one shot a week to try to make a show, to try to get these huge numbers. Man, we do a show every night. I was here yesterday. I'll be here tomorrow. I hope. I'll be here tomorrow. I plan on being here tomorrow. Tim, what does that mean? What does that mean? Are you religious? It means that I was raised religious, and I'm not sure if there's anything up there. I would like to think there's something driving something, but I don't know, man. Neither do you. Nobody knows. So don't read into everything. I don't have any problems with anybody's faith unless it's radical Islam, which is what we're talking about tonight. You like that segue, didn't you? Like that boy can segue. Speaking of segue, when you gonna get one of them? The topic tonight is Paris. The phone number you should call in and tell me your thoughts about controversies, conspiracies, and about the events that unfolded are still unfolding. President Hollande said he's not certain that they caught everyone, that there are people who helped the terrorists achieve their goals, right? And they're not certain they got everybody. So they shut down the borders of Germany and Belgium to try to contain and then apprehend and detain whoever they could. They did, they did arrest 5 outside the concert hall. They were in a mysterious vehicle, a suspicious vehicle, a black vehicle with tinted windows. It was right. They saw the vehicle right before the bombing, right before the shooting in the concert hall, okay? 5 people were apprehended. I don't know their names. They haven't released that information that I know of. Last time I checked, they hadn't released that. Numbers 323-870-4064. 323-870-4064. Some people say there's been too much focus on Paris already. I'm like, God, it just happened. Today it's been 24 hours. Goodness gracious, gosh. It just happened. Now, Wednesday, you could say it's too much focus on Paris. But for a terrorist action to take place in a tourist capital of Europe that is an ally to the U.S., it's kind of... I'm having a hard time understanding how it's too much coverage when it's only 24 hours. You know, it's only 24 hours. Next week, you could say, Tim, hey, man, you know? So people are saying there's too much coverage, too much focus on Paris. And what I want to get into is I want to put it out there for everyone to make their comments about it, but I'm going to go first. Okay? When will people realize that money controls it all? It's not when people look, and I'm gonna speak directly to my people, man. But you know what? They're the only people I see saying this. You know, so I don't want to be Stephen A. Smith. I do not like Stephen A. Smith's tack with coming at the black community for everything. Jump on, black on, jump on, jump on, jump on, jump on. I do not like that, and don't make me be him. Stop with the rhetoric, man, about you. Listen, man. Just because the Young Turks cover black on black crime don't mean they care about you. It's all about money. Just because MSNBC covers Tamir Rice doesn't mean they care. Just because they cover Chicago doesn't mean they care about it. It means they can make money from it. How many of you remember Farrah Fawcett Jr.? She played in The $6 Million Woman. Very attractive, young, blonde-headed woman. Very attractive, beautiful woman. I said attractive twice because she was very attractive. How many of you remember when Farrah Fawcett died? She happened to have the misfortune to die on the same day that Michael Jackson died. So no one talked about her until she was in the ground. Now, that wasn't because they were racist towards Farrah Fawcett. It's because Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. And she was blonde, blue-eyed, beautiful, well-known icon. She shattered many records. When she was there, when she came in, I remember that. I'm looking back, I was a kid. I remember the $6 million man, and I remember the $6 million woman, or whatever she was. She was a $100 million woman. She was, this was an iconic lady. And when she died, no one paid attention. It's because the king of pop died. And he did a lot of stuff to his face, but underneath it all, he was still a brother. And all I'm saying, it's not because they loved Mike so much. It's because we did. You understand? That's why they kept showing him, because they knew the people were going to watch when they talked about Michael Jackson. So this is my point, guys. We're talking about Paris, France right now, and everyone's talking about it. I talk about a show every night. Every night I do a show. I didn't do a show about Paris last week. I didn't do a show about terrorism last week. The news cycle ebbs and flows. I do a lot of stories about black on black crime. I do a lot of stories about police brutality, almost to the point, right now I could probably be at 300,000 viewers or fans or subscribers instead of 50,000 if I did if I did less police brutality or all police brutality. See, I do so much of it, but it's not all the time, but I do so much that it turns people off who are not expecting it. And then I don't do enough where it will really get people who just want to see that, who want to watch it all the time. You understand? But please, we got to get to the point where we understand that money dominates the news cycle, not feelings. They're talking about Paris because they know it will get attention from us. Now, I'm not saying everybody who covers it doesn't care either. I'm not saying there aren't good people who cover stories. I'm not saying that Young Turks don't care. I'm not saying Cenk doesn't care at all about the stories he covers. I'm not saying that. I don't know him. I'm not attacking him. What I'm saying is money moves everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Now, we know these songs. We know this. But we think somehow when it comes time for us to apply it to our own lives, we don't want to. We want to get emotional. And I do it too. You know what? I remember when Robin Williams died. It was right around the time when there was a death. It was I think it was Eric Garner. And I was highly pissed off. I lost about 100 subscribers because when Robin Williams died, I was talking about Eric Garner. I think it was Eric Garner. And then Robin Williams dies and Eric Garner was gone. And all people talked about was Robin Williams. And I was pissed. And I did a tribute video to Robin Williams. And at the very beginning, after I said I feel bad for Robin Williams, I started talking about Eric Garner. I lost 100 subscribers that day, which was a lot for a guy who had about 5,000. And I got a lot of hate mail. But I felt that Robin Williams would have understood. He was a humble guy anyway. One little guy on YouTube don't change who he was or what he brought to cinema. And I respected him. But I wanted to talk about Eric Garner. I was upset. I was emotional. But looking back, I realized that I can't be mad at people. You have to be mad at media. And who controls media? You got all of these magazines. You have all of these publications, all of these channels. They're owned by 3 companies, y'all. They're owned by 3 companies. And y'all going to have to bear with me while I get through this. And I hope that you listen to this rant because it's very important. Our media is run by 3 companies. Your media is run by 3 companies. But you know what? You can't use that excuse no more because you know what? We all can be our own media. You can have 50,000 viewers too. You can be a media source just like I am, but you know what you got to do? You got to work every day like I do to build an audience. Then you have to talk about information that people actually want to watch. You got to put it in a format that they want it to be in, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be relevant, and you cannot be worried about people liking you to the point where you forget what your mission is, and you can't be worried about money. And you have to do it every day for 2 years like I did. And you have to build your own brand. You can't sit back and complain about CNN and about Fox and about HLN and about MSNBC. You have the internet now. You have no reason to complain. You can create your own entity just like I did. I'm 41 years old. I'm a black guy in Maryland with no money doing it. And I'm doing it every day, but you sit back and you complain that they're not showing your death, that they're not showing what's going on in your hood. You sound like Ice Cube. You sound like Doughboy and Boys in the Hood. They don't know, don't show, or don't care what's going on in the hood. When you have a computer and a webcam, but you can spend all day taking selfies. You can take selfies all day and put them on Instagram, but you can't cover a story in your own neighborhood and send it to people. You can take ass shots with your butt on your sink on Facebook, but you can't do an article. You can't write an article for Medium like I did. You can't put out an ebook like I did. You can, you just don't want to. So when you complain about mainstream media and then you go watch the Young Turks who were funded by Al Jazeera, fund them from the start. When you go spend money, when you go watch MSNBC, when you go watch CNN, when you go watch Fox News, when you go watch HLN, and you leave guys like me with nothing, where I got $50 on my fucking PayPal, or my fucking Patreon, but you complain about media, but when I ask you for something, I can't get it. And I've been doing it for 2 years without your help. Now, if you're not going to help me do it, at least you go do it. And don't complain that I'm not covering black people dying in Nigeria when you won't send me the story. Because I'll do that story. I will cover that story. But you got to send it to me. You have to tell me about it. But this is what we do. Everybody with a Twitter account wants to get on Twitter and complain about what the man is doing to him. But nobody wants to do anything. Everybody wants to be the man, but nobody want to be the man. Everybody want big muscles, but nobody want to lift weights. Nobody wants to do a show a day like I'm doing. From 0 subscribers and build it up. Nobody wants to be called fat, ugly, black, stupid, nigga, asshole, too old, too fat, too boring, too silly, too loud, too goofy, too this, too that. Had to put blocks on your fucking filter because they calling you nigga every day. No one wants to do that. But what they want to do, they want to complain that the media doesn't cover their stories. But you can create your own channel right now. You can't say there is no media coverage of events. So today I'm talking about Paris. I didn't talk about Paris last week, though. I talked about Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Gerard Crawford. I'm sorry. It's not Gerard Crawford. I'm thinking about the gun shooter. I think his name was Gerard Williams, who shot somebody. And the point is this, guys. We can't sit back and complaining about what we don't have when we have it all. We have it all. We have it all. We have all. We have everything right now. But I'm talking about Paris because those people in Paris ain't got nothing to do with the fact that MSNBC is not talking about Nigeria. Those people, I should be able to talk about that and not be called a Tom or a coon or a sellout. Because you weren't here last week when I wasn't talking about Paris. When I was talking about your neighborhood. When I did the videos on Chicago that you didn't watch. That you didn't share for me. That you didn't send me $10 for. Those videos that you can go look up. I got 800 plus videos right now. Very few of them are about Paris. And all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we cannot complain about what media doesn't do for us. It's for business. They do it for business. I do it for the love, man. But I got to keep going. But they do it for business. CNN, MSNBC, HLN, they're all owned by companies. They're all owned by the same companies. Dude, they don't care. Stop thinking because they exploit the fuck out of you for money that means they care about you because they talked about you. At the end of the day, they don't care. Just because they did a story doesn't mean they really care. I just know I never seen Don Lemon damn near blow a blood vessel trying to explain what's important and what you could do to get in this and what you could do to add your voice to the equation so you can stop feeling powerless, like your issues are overlooked, like no one cares about the things that matter to you. I tell you, I do a show every day, folks. Every day, 9 o'clock, by myself. Luckily, I have some people who call in and they help, and they're online right now. You know? You could be a part of that. Stop telling me what the media don't do for us. We can do for self. Hey, welcome to Tim Black Live at Night. Hey, Joy, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm better now. I had to exercise some demons.
I hear you. And I want to hop on what you were saying. You can do it. It is folks out there. If you feel like the mainstream media is not covering something that you want covered, then you through YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you trend it. You make it trendy. You focus on it. You pay attention to it. You send it to all your friends, and it will become important. The people will drive it. So stop looking for someone to do something for you that you can do for yourself. You do it.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I understand everybody can't do it, Joe. Everybody doesn't want to be on the camera, and everybody doesn't want to, step out there like that. I hid my identity because I had a job at the time. Certain things I didn't want to say. I didn't want to lose my job because I want to talk about something. I understand that. But, there are outlets out there. Joy's out there. I'm out there. The Obamacrat, my man JB, he is out there. We're out there. We're talking. We're not as big as MSNBC, but we can. We're out here.
And you can't hop on one person because you're paying attention to something that I personally may not be paying attention to. Now, I understand that what's going on in Paris and how there's a lot of attention on what's going on in Paris, and there was a movement over here with the students and standing up, and some were making demands that were very much so needed, not all, but some were making demands and strides that were very much so needed, and there were victories, and I get that and I understand that. I understand false flag events. I get all of that, folks. I am not naive, but real people lost their lives. Real folks died. Real families were affected. Whether there's a false flag event attached to this or not, which no matter what conspiracy is happening or going on, real people died. And the human being in me, I can't overlook that. So because I take the time to say, you know what, my heart goes out to these people, and I'm going to take the time to bring this to your attention, it doesn't mean that everything else that's going on around me I am ignoring. I'm not ignoring what's going on and what's happening here in the United States of America. But I can take a moment to say this is a tragedy before I come right back here and acknowledge what's going on with my people. I can do both.
I heard that.
That's what I have to say about that, sir. And sometimes I understand. I've been there, sir, when they call you everything but the name that's on your birth certificate. But sometimes you gotta go and brush your shoulder off, shake yourself, get your head right, and move forward. Because one person can't please everybody. My name is Joy Green, and I'm gonna stay in Joy Green's lane. So you get upset as you want to, as I keep doing and moving forward.
All right, Joy.
Talk to you later, sir.
All right, now. All right, guys, give it up for Joy. Hey, you're live with Tim Black. You're live with Tim Black. Who's on the line? Looks familiar. Not sure who it is.
Yeah, this is Naj. This is Naj in Atlanta, man. Thanks for letting me on. Well said by y'all. I'll say that first as far as talking about our own media. The only difference I would say would be we don't have to wait around for them to get right. We should be going to black media first anyway. it shouldn't be a thing of checking them first and then coming around and trying to find what black media is doing. We got what you guys are doing, which I just became aware of tonight. You got the Black Agenda Report with Glenn Ford and Margaret Kimberly doing good work every day. You got all these different spaces that are out here giving you work, and we need to support them, go to them, and learn from them. So these people who are so concerned with the mainstream media and what they're saying, they're thinking backwards anyway. And just to go into what you're talking about tonight, if an event happens that kind of dictates what goes on the world stage, it needs to be talked about.
Right.
Just because we are going to be always thinking black first doesn't mean that we hide our head and not look at world events that are going to affect our lives. I think that's a cowardly position, and I think some of us take some kind of joy in that, in saying, well, I don't care what happens over in such and such. No. This is a globalized world. It's much smaller than it used to be, and things that happen on other hemispheres affect you, so you need to know about them. And to get mad at somebody for bringing them up, I mean, that's kind of a you thing. That's a you problem. But yeah, man, keep doing the work, man. And I actually need more information about the situation in Kenya. I don't have enough myself on that, so
Right.
I'm still looking for that. But yeah, support all black media, and like the sister just said, get that trending. Like, why are you not sharing those podcasts? Why are you not sharing those videos? All of that stuff is important.
Right. Right.
And we really need to realize that, man. Like, I don't get that whole thing, but the other thing is, too, we can't derail when we're giving out information, our information, because we want to spend too much time on what a troll says. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other aspect of this, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I just used up a bunch of my commentary commenting on somebody making a comment that made no sense whatsoever, when we need to be focused on what black people need to know and how much information we need to share with each other.
Hey man, thank you so much for your comment, man. You just said a lot, and I appreciate the people that you shouted out and the sentiment behind it. It sounds like very sincere, and it's something people need to think about. And though this person's trolling, it's a notion that a lot of people have, bro. They actually feel that way, so we should address it. And you're right, we shouldn't spend too much time, but let's address it. Let's reach out to them and let them know that our focus is there, and it'll be there. Let's talk about this too. We have time. We'll be back. All right, Captain. You there, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, look, man, where are you calling from again? I didn't ask you what state you were in.
Oh, I'm in Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. Well, what we do, man, when I'm not ranting and acting crazy, we give an applause to our new callers, man. It's just how we roll, man. We small, we trying to build up, so we want to welcome you to the family, and we hope that you don't become a stranger, all right?
Indeed, man, indeed. I'll definitely call in. I know the show name and I know the time now.
Thank you, Captain. Take care now. All right, guys, I'm cool now, man. Joy, she had to chill me out. My man just came and I think it said his name was D. He just calmed me down. I'm good now, guys. I'll get to some real information after this one, after my man Rob. Hey, Rob, how you doing, partner?
Hey, Tim, I'm doing good tonight. Hey, I just wanted to call and let you know that people like me, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for the news community. I'm growing as a human being by listening and watching you. I've learned more about what white privilege truly is. I could create a news show and I could trash the trashiest white people and not get called derogatory names from the white people. Unlike you, from watching what you're saying, and if you call out news for just what it is,
right,
that you have a two-headed battle. That you're going to get called names, you're going to get called this from within your own community, or from, and from races too, from white supremacists, racists, and everything. And nobody's calling Dan Rather. Nobody's calling them, when they report the news.
Right.
I truly appreciate what you do for the news, because I've searched for YouTube channels to find news that wasn't big media news. And there's a select few that I feel that can bring truth to news without agendas. and you're one of them. You're the main one that I go to looking for a story or a scoop or something, just what's going on in the world. And I do appreciate what you do. And for the media, Robin Williams, when he came out of rehab, he was on a talk show, and it was low key, and he says he has to thank Mel Gibson for that, because Mel Gibson was caught in that tirade, that racial anti-Semitic tirade that made all the news headlines, as he got to slip into rehab and didn't make any news. You know, and like you said, the media gets to choose those stories of what they want to promote, because the money, the big money.
That's right.
And just like when Fox shut you down, it's big money. They're losing advertising dollars. If you, like you said, you weren't making a dime on it. You're just letting people see who needs to be the next president. Let's talk about it. No more than if you were sitting in my living room and the whole wolf pack was there, and we're just like, let's chill here and discuss this.
That's it.
That's it. But I'm going to let you go and continue on with the news. Like I said, I'm still trying to decipher what's real and what's not through this Paris stuff. There's so many fresh stories that they're running with the assumptions, and then they have to go back and correct themselves. So I can't stick with the assumptions. I got to read through it as the news gets filtered through. Like, that's not true. This is not true. I guess this is true now. You know.
Right.
But you are appreciated, and tell them people, send them clips in. Send them 6 seconds clips in. Keep promoting that, and we'll get you a good beginning, good intro in.
That's it, man. Hey, Rob, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, man. Give it up for Rob, y'all. Give it up for D. You got it, man. People keeping me grounded, man. Trying to, but see, that's the thing, man. I don't mean to get that way. I try to keep it in check, man. But I'm not a news reporter. I'm a regular guy who can speak a little bit and be witty at times. Some people call me funny. It depends on the mood. But I'm not Brant Gumbel. I'm not Dan Rather. I'm a real person. I don't mean to fly off, but so let me give you some information. Let me give you a few updates about what happened, about Paris, and the most ironic thing about it, guys, the thing I think a lot of people aren't considering was Paris. France really dodged the bullet. They dodged a humongous bullet. And I don't mean that. I know it's a bad wording to use that right now, guys. But check this out. After spending a lot of time listening to all the commentary, reading a lot of information on it, that stadium, the Stade de France, and I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but that's where on the outskirts of France where they were playing football, soccer for us Americans. They were playing against Germany. That stadium held 80,000 people. 80,000 people were in that stadium. Outside that stadium, there were 3 terrorists trying to gain entry to the stadium. They were all strapped with suicide vests. One of the terrorists had a valid ticket. Now, I don't know for what reason the security guard did not allow them to enter, but the security guard didn't allow that one with the valid ticket to enter in the stadium. So that one act averted multiple deaths. Not only was the stadium packed with 80,000 fans, the president of France was in attendance. There is footage, and I would share with you, but they've been hitting me with penalties on YouTube. But when you watch the clip of the soccer field and you hear the loud bass sound, I don't know if you've seen the clip. They were playing, and you can hear this boom, boom, boom. That's the sound of the suicide vests going off. The terrorists, they detonated their explosives outside of the stadium. If they would have done that inside the stadium, we would be looking at a lot more than 129 people dead. Now, I don't want to make light of 129 people being dead. That's a horrific number. 1 is a horrific number if it's someone you love. 1 is too many people to lose their lives needlessly, right? But if you let off an explosive in a stadium of panicking people who feel confined, you're gonna have more casualties just from people trying to get out. People are gonna be running over each other. We talk about a stampede. The running of the bulls. Most people get hurt in the running of the bulls, getting run over by not only the bull, by other people trying to get out the way. So, you understand where I'm coming from. That's something I think is underreported, the gravity of that situation. The other thing is, it's just some of the rhetoric coming out of our politicians' mouths. Check this out, guys. Remember when Ben Carson foolishly wanted to talk about guns? You know, and he wanted to talk about the campus shooting and how they can't take us all. We got to do something, you know. In this case, these people were armed with AK-47s of different makes. These people in the concert hall that the terrorists took over was full of 1,500 people. There was a concert going on with the group called the Eagles of Death Metal. And no one had an opportunity to rush the people with the guns. You understand? The natural tendency is to run when someone has a gun. People are in shock. People are frantic. People are panicking. I listened to the words of a survivor as he described them trying to running into rooms that were locked with no exits. They didn't know there were no exits. They didn't know where to exit. It's not like you're in a movie theater and you see the glowing light exit. So we're talking about horrific events unfolding in real time, no prep, no one's thinking about it, and there's somebody just walks in with an AK-47 and, as the man describes, starts shooting people like birds. And I'm going to go a step further and say he shot them more like, because the translation is probably loose, I'll say he sounds to me like he shot them like cans on a fence. Because the people that were wounded, he told them to lay on the floor, and as they laid on the floor, he shot them in the head. He execution-styled these people. These gunners execution-styled shot these people. And I'm sure someone was thinking in their mind, what could they do? Could they try to overtake the gunman? But as I saw a film of a woman hanging out of a window, flight or fight takes over. A lot of people do a flight. So what are the conspiracy theories? Joy touched on some of it. You know, I don't get into that. Every day, every moment, the more media that you cover, the more you realize that there are issues going on at all times, guys. You do not have to create an event for an event to occur. There are billions of people, not a billion. There are billions of people on the planet. All you have to do is, whatever you're paying attention to, you just bring attention to that issue that you want people to pay attention to. You do not have to create an event for an event to occur. There is a killing, a stabbing, a robbing, a raping, something going on at any moment, at any given time. And if you shine a light on that at that time, you can make that the story if you want to. I do not think that you need to manufacture events. You don't need that manufacture events. That's how I feel about conspiracies. Let me know what you guys think. 323-870-4064. And maybe you got some ideas about what conspiracies mean to you. I don't believe this is all crisis actors. I don't get into that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that that people didn't die. You know, if you say this is orchestrated to achieve a greater ends, like take our guns, like take our freedoms, well, we have to fight back on that. You're right. I won't say that it was created for that, but people will use, like Rahm. I remember the words of Rahm Emanuel when he said, never miss the opportunity in a catastrophe. And I believe that's a political saying. I believe that's something that all politicians know. Never miss the opportunity in a catastrophe to turn it and use it for your own means. And I think that's what they do. I don't think they necessarily have to create the catastrophe. So, Right now, the dead total stands at 129. Our condolences go out to the families of those people. Me caring about, and I said this last night, I'm going to say it again, man. Me caring about the 129 and the 350 plus people that are hurt, that were hurt in Paris, France, does not negate my feelings about Chicago. But don't worry, folks. MSNBC, HLN, CNN, Fox News, they will all be exploiting that tomorrow at their regular scheduled time. They will be talking about it and doing nothing about it. They'll be talking about it if they think people will pay attention enough for them to sell a couple of newspapers, get a couple of ads seen by a couple million people. They'll be talking about it. Don't worry. But what will they do about it? What will you and I do about it? Feel me? All right. I'm going to go to my chat room. Unfortunately, I had to move my channel, my streaming channel. We used to have a little bit more activity, but hopefully when I finish trying to influence Fox News to let my people go, because Fox News is pissed with me right now. Hopefully they will let my channel go on. Let go of the restrictions they placed on my channel because I aired a debate, which is, there's a debate going on right now. And that just goes to show you how much I care about the Democratic debates, man. I'm not even watching it, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I'm sure I'll catch up on anything they talk about. Hillary's going to take this thing running away, I think. This debate. I don't know about the election, but this debate, I haven't looked at poll numbers lately. They say Hillary's killing it. I don't know what to believe. But the events in Paris definitely going to shape the debates. I don't know if anybody's watching. Anybody watching debates want to give us an update, a play-by-play? Maybe you're multitasking. Maybe you're able to watch the debates and do this. But you give us an update on what it looks like. I don't know what's going on. That'd be real cool. Because I don't know. ISIS has taken responsibility for their actions in Paris, for what happened, for what was done, for the for the killings. They took responsibility. There you go. They did. Does big media really care? Media drive stories, coverage. I got a couple notes here. Make sure I got everything. No excuse for waiting for other media. And this is something I wanted to point out, and this, as long as I touch on this, I feel like I did my job. The primary victims of ISIS and radical Islam are other Islamists, other Muslims. The primary victims of radical Islamists are other Muslims, not Westerners, definitely not Americans. People need to think about that. So it's just crazy. So today I caught a little heat, and then I saw a lot of, and it just really got to me about the people saying, why we focus on this, we just focus on Chicago. But, there are people that this very organization, ISIS, is slaughtering. They get hardly any coverage here. Until they kill people in France, too. So everyone can say that. That's my point. Everyone can say that. The primary victims of ISIS are radical Islam. The primary victims of ISIS and radical Islam are other Muslims. They're the real people, man, who get, and it's not good enough. We are citizens of the world. We can't just say we don't care because it's not in our not in my backyard. It's not my problem. I seen folks in Paris marching for Black Lives Matter. I seen them with signs. I put them on my channel when we had protest police brutality in America. They were marching there, and I have people here who say we don't care about them. And when I brought it to their attention, they said, so what? It's like everybody doesn't need an internet connection, man. It just fuels hate. We need to get out that mode of hate. So what else about Paris? I know a lot of stuff about this, probably more than I want to know at this point. I did a 6-hour stream today, almost 6 hours, 5.5 hours, of continuous coverage from all the major news sources regarding, and I did something I encourage you all to do, which is I went to some local France media as well, okay? And one is called Local France, ironic enough. A live blog that's updated every minute. Every time they get something new, they put something up. They put it up, they keep putting it up. And they were talking about these passports that were obtained, and I'm hearing a lot about controversy. So what about the conspiracy of that? How likely is it the people to leave passports? But see, this is the thing. I don't know if they actually left passports, like driver's license at the scene of a crime. People have done such. I've covered stories where people drop their wallets. So for you to just out of hand say there's no way possible a terrorist had a passport on him is kind of crazy. Because it happens, right? Like, it's not crazy, but come on, it's not like impossible for somebody to have some form of ID on them when they die. Though they probably expected to blow themselves up, and they probably would have expected that to get blown up too. But anyway, here goes the point. It's also possible it was planted. This is a theory. I'm going to throw it out there. It was planted because they want to make Belgium and Germany stop allowing these refugees from Syria to come into their country. See, a lot of people are fleeing Syria due to ISIS and radical Islam. And these passports that are found, this passport that is found that links the terrorists to one of these intake centers where they were allowing people to flee from Syria for refuge, it ties that person to that location. So now people are going, we need to shut down the borders, and we need to not let anybody else come here who's seeking refuge, because you see what they do? They team up with ISIS and they kill us. And they're saying that's what they want you to do. So the further you go down the rabbit hole on this, the further it becomes confusing. Is it a plot to keep us from helping people fleeing Syria? Or is it a cover-up or a false flag intended to place blame on Syria to justify, right? So here goes another thing. While you chew on that and figure that out and come up to, I don't know, maybe you'll come up with a better conclusion than I did. I'm like, I don't know. France, I didn't know this. France is one of the biggest suppliers of armaments and boots on the ground in Syria. I didn't know that until today, okay? So there are reasons why ISIS would hate France. Not just that it's a westernized country, those silly Westerners, not just that, but also the fact that they are supplying a lot. They're right there with the United States with supplying tactical and aircraft and drones to fight in Syria against ISIS, okay? So that's something you need to think about. So there is a reason for it. If you look at the numbers, I did some research on that. If you start Googling it, just Google who has the most, who's the most involved in Syria, or who's the most involved countries in Syria conflict or whatever, and you'll see France and the U.S. lead the way. So someone asked me on my stream earlier. They like, tell me, they said, do you think this could happen in the U.S.? And I said, hell yeah. Yes, it could happen in the U.S. In fact, when 9/11 happened in the U.S., they tried to do, there were attempts in France to simultaneously hit embassies in France, the American embassy in France, and other locations in France. They were just foiled. So they have typically in the past wanted to hit France and the U.S. simultaneously. So we need to be on guard. We need to be aware. Now, right now, there is no raised awareness in the U.S., but they are putting additional law enforcement on the ground in the U.S. in prime target areas, like different locations in like Times Square. I'm assuming the Capitol, where I'm at, not far from where I'm at in D.C. So they're doing that. And tomorrow at the NFL games, right? There's going to be extra police at the NFL games. So while they're telling you, oh, we're good, we don't have anything on our radar, yeah, I would pay attention. I would pay attention because I think no one wants anybody to be alarmed. But yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? All right. K9 unit. More than that. Hey, what's up, Joshua? What's up, Liberty? Not licensed, watching Oregon, Stanford. Look at that. Couldn't watch the Democratic debates. Listen to that. They couldn't watch. They said, I couldn't stomach. Liberty said, I couldn't stomach the Democrat debates. See what I'm saying? And that's why I'm not covering. It's like, it's... Anyway, they're talking about other stuff. People have a good time. So, what else? What else interesting did I uncover from my almost 6 hours of coverage on this story, on the attacks, man, that I want to give you? Oh, Paris is 6 hours ahead of us. You already knew that, didn't you? Okay. I didn't realize that. I'm trying to figure out that. That's important to know, though. Okay. So right now, and look, they don't know if everyone made it out. They don't know if there's still people waiting around in Paris right now, if there's still terrorists, because someone was funding them. Look, 6 locations. That's the other thing. 6 locations. 3 teams, 6 locations. 8 dead. 7 detonations. 1 was shot, okay? The other 7 blew themselves up. That's important to know. That's important to know. And they're also considering it, we got to look at it. Small arms, but there were a lot of arms. Someone's funding this. Someone helped them do this. That's what we believe. We, as in intelligence, as if I'm a part of that community, but authorities believe that there are more people involved, and that's why they shut down the borders of Germany and Belgium as they try to do that. And they've also arrested some people at the border. I think it was in Belgium. So, I don't know what else to tell you about it. Very difficult thing. I wonder if anybody on Meerkat has an opinion about it. If they aren't totally. Polizzi said, good work. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So these are things we need to know about. Why? Because we live in a big world, and like my caller said, from Georgia, ATL. Gosh, man, I should have wrote your name down. I'm a type of person, I got to write something down. That's why I always take notes. I take notes, I write it down. It helps me remember better because my memory's not that great. But if I write it down, it's then it's seared into my brain. I know he was from the ATL. I think his name started with a D. But like he said, we're citizens of the world. We should care because we're all more connected than we ever were. We need to be concerned about what's going on, particularly this type of violence that we share a lot in common with France, man. We got our whole political system from, I won't say the whole thing, but I think democracy derived from France. Somebody help me out. That's what I think now. I'm going back in my head. Come on, man. I'm over 40 now. I got to go back into turning, running down the file cabinets in my mind, trying to figure it out, trying to remember. All of a sudden, that Prince George's County public school system stuff is like, opening up that creaky file cabinet in my brain, trying to, move past the porn and the comic books, rap magazines, Right On magazines. I'm trying to get to here we go. Pull it up. Yeah, I think we did get our democracy, our standard of democracy, our blueprint for democracy from France. So we got a lot in common with them. We should be concerned, man. We should be. I'm concerned, and I'm concerned with people who think we should not be concerned. So that's what I got for you, man. It's 3 minutes till Let me do some shout outs for my people that actually make it to my channel. A lot of people say, Tim, I can't find your new stream. I'm like, dude, I'll just keep giving links out. Keep giving links out. All right. Hawk made it. What up, Hawk? Hawk made it. Damon made it. What's up, Damon? Damon B. What's up, B? When I rap's in the house. Yeah, I had a little epic rant, didn't I? Meerkat. Hawk said, what is a Meerkat? Meerkat is a streaming app what allows me to stream directly from my device to millions of people. And I've been doing it for a while. Meerkat. All right? Meerkat. So it's really cool. It's an app you use on your Android or on your Apple device. And with that, I'm looking over here. Forgive me, y'all. All right. Meerkat is an application you load on your Android device. People on Meerkat already know. They're right there. I'm streaming to my Meerkat people because some people, they want to watch stuff on their phone, right? They would go to YouTube. They just go to Meerkat. They go boom, boom. And then all these shows are there. All these streams are there. It's really cool, man. If you can catch a live event, like something really exciting going on, you can stream it to people, and then you can save it in their cloud, and people can come back if you want to share the link or whatever. So it's a streaming platform. In fact, I get a lot of my people who watch me on Meerkat as opposed to YouTube, which is crazy because on YouTube I got 50,000 subs, but I get more people watching me on Meerkat. That don't make sense. I'm getting all this Meerkat love, huh? I don't know why I'm not getting the love on YouTube. But then they say we don't got enough. All right, I'm gone, guys. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If there's a story you'd like for us to cover, that you would like us to open up dialogue, as you can see by all the phone calls tonight, which weren't many, most people don't want to talk about this. I get it. We talked about it yesterday. We'll talk about something else tomorrow. Unless something about this story demands our coverage. Okay? Sundays are typically something relationship-based. See, we do all types of talk here. Be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, guys. And, go to my Facebook page and tell me what you want to talk about. Or email me at timstake2 at gmail.com, or hit me up at Twitter at TimBartender. That's at TimBartender, man. And we can work it out. We can work it out. Mama gonna work it out. Mama gonna work it out. All right, guys. Let's play the Get Out of Here music and let's get out of here.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
All right, before I go, I got to shout out a couple people, man. Jen. Hey, Jen. Jen LSK. Hey, Jen, how you doing? Thank you for liking this show. Laura, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for streaming. I appreciate your support. Laura, you're always holding me down. FDW. What's up? What's up, FDW? Restreamed this as well. Thank you. Poe Lizzie followed me. Thank you, Poe Lizzie. Jen says, love Joy. That means she loves you, Joy. Great show. And Patrick Victoria said, LOL. Jen says, my husband came to the U.S. as a Syrian refugee over 30 years ago. Paris is the tip of the iceberg as far as what is, and they cut off there. Wish I knew what the rest of that was. I do my best not to stereotype groups of people because I don't want to be stereotyped. And also because it's the wrong thing to do. It's an easy way out. The world is a lot more gray than we like to give it credit for. So I'm aware of that, and I try to reflect that in the things I say out my mouth. Sometimes I get upset, but I try not to. But I want to keep it real, but I want to be fair. So we try to do it all, and it's hard to make that constant battle. But yes, Jen, shout out to your husband. You're still the better half, probably, what he would say, but I'm sure he's also an equally good half or great half, Or hell, he might even be the better half. I don't know. You could be banging. I don't know. We got to start giving guys, no one ever walks up to the guy and says, you know, to the wife, no one ever walks up to the wife and says, well, how's your better half doing? I'm talking about the husband. No one does that. They always treat the woman like she's the better half. The guy's like this guy. He's carrying bags or something. You know? So I like, every once in a while, I like to give it, to, you know, and big up the guys a little bit. We need it. All right? All right. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow. I got love for you. I love you if nobody else do. Peace, YouTube. Peace, Meerkat. Peace, Blog Talk Radio. Peace, iTunes. And peace, Stitcher Radio. If you're getting this on Stitcher, do a review. Come on, man. Give me 100 words or less how much you love the show and hit send on Stitcher Radio so I can move up in the rankings. And don't forget, send me your 6-second clip about how much you like the show, and I will include that in a what's the word for it, Rob? I don't know, a splash thing, an intro, right? I'll include you in the intro before the show, and it'll be airing on YouTube. How about that? Yeah, that's what's up, man. So do that and send it to me on, hit me on Twitter or hit me on YouTube at Tim's Take Live or IamTimBlack.com. That's the same thing. Or Tim's Take 2 at gmail.com. Send me your clip and I will immortalize you and I will play you on 6 different platforms or 5 different platforms, something like that. All right. God. Let's find my click off button. Let these people go so they can go watch the debates. So they can. I know how much you guys are itching to go hear Hillary tell you what she think you want to hear. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Bass. Hey Bass, man, you my last call, Bass. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Tim. I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Hey man, you tell it, man. You close the show out for me, man. Make your comment, close us out.
All right, I will. Hey, shout out to the Wolfpack. They're always in there keeping it up, keeping it going. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I wanted earlier when you were talking about people getting out and finding out about the media and everything. I think I've been following you now for like maybe 3 years, I'm guessing.
Wow.
And that's what led me to your show, was searching for more real news where people actually cared about the people that were in the news. And that's how I landed on your channel. And I've been following you ever since. I mean, I subscribed after like watching the first 2 videos of yours I ever watched. I thought, man, this cat's real. There ain't nothing phony about him at all. And when I sit here and I hear you say people calling you a coon and a sellout, that kind of twists me up. Yeah. I mean, if somebody was to do that in my person, say that about you, I'd have something to say about it, because you definitely ain't none of that. Man, you're a solid go-getter, and you make a lot of good points, and you pulled a lot of good people together like Joy and Josh and Rap and Carlos and a few of these other people that call in.
Yeah.
And me being involved with you has expanded my YouTube searches. Like, I watch Joy's videos. I go to the Lance Scurv show now. I mean, you know, it's like big networking, but on a very small scale. And I think what you do is holds a high level of integrity and commands respect, because you're out there swinging it every day, man. You don't hold back, and you tell it like it is. And that's what I like about your channel, Tim.
Well, man, you don't know how much I needed to hear that, man. Thank you so much, Bass. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're in it till the end, man. I'm telling you, I'm in it with you till the end.
That's what's up, guys. Hey, look, the best person to toot your horn is somebody else. Thank you so much, Bass. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to shut it down, man.
All right.
All right, family.
All right, brother. You have a good evening.
All right, guys. I think I'm safe to end it on that note. All right.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.